Right, hi Olga. This is a video I've made for you. This is the this is to do with your workbook. So I'm just going to go through what the new when I say changes are. They're not major, but so sort of to guide you with you doing your workbook and sort of talk about what I need. So I mean I'll write you as well, but just to sort of I thought making a quick video would help. So this is what I've sent you and what you've been doing for me, which is very good. This is your first workbook, and you sort of remember this was broken down into analysis, communication, and we had to sort of give evidence, answer these questions if you remember, and give evidence, find evidence to show that you had achieved these skills, if you like, and behaviors. Now, this is the new. When I say this is the new, this is the workbook that's submitted after you finish your exams or as part of your finishing off your synoptic exam. It's a shame because the software doesn't let me write on it, so I'm just going to have to walk through it. So let me just show you what's going on. This is what it is. There are some minor additions. Now, yes, we've talked about skills and behaviors, but there's another one called knowledge. But all the knowledge ultimately comes from the skills and behaviors, and you'll see what I mean. So the knowledge, you've sort of done all of this already: analysis, communication. And you'll see how it's slightly different, but all the information can be drawn from that spreadsheet that you did for me. And I have done the first one for you. So here we have, and when I talk about knowledge, you'll see it's the same information, and it's almost like trying to answer these questions. Right, so let's carry on. So there's what I'm interested in is that what I want you to do, I'll write this again, is that how you've been doing like a first workbook and a second workbook and a third workbook. I want you to fill these spreadsheets, this PDF document like that. So you fill this document in, kind of like what I've done now for the very first time I met you. So let's pretend this was the first time I met you. You can ignore all of this, but let's just go straight here. So we're answering the questions so pretend now this is the spreadsheet and you're just answering the question. So you're almost answering one spreadsheet per, if you like, per meeting that we have. So don't worry about whether it's evidence 1, 2, or 3. Just get a new worksheet. Say, or if you like, the first time I met you, fill this out. The next time I meet you, fill in a new worksheet with new pieces of evidence as you're going along. And then we'll bring all of it into one final workbook, if you like. Okay, great. So this is the first, this is business awareness. And this sort of, I've literally taken the information from your spreadsheet and put into these questions, answer the question. So this says, describe the main transactional processes and reasons why this needed to be undertaken. So you were working in payroll at the time I saw you. So you can see what I'm really saying is here that you're talking about, I'm just really talking about the role that you actually did. And that was you putting information in for new employees and updating the system and confirming and signing. And I talk a little bit about it. So spend some time reading that. And then it says, describe and understand the business strategy that meets the needs of stakeholders. So what I really did when I first met you guys was to sort of try and break this information down into those questions. So this is really asking, what's the purpose of what you're doing? How is it going to affect the organization as a whole? And so I'm sure you're more and more comfortable with that type of language. So what I need you to do is literally write in your own words. You have the spreadsheet already. You have the references. But what you need to do is just kind of read through again these questions and just kind of put in here in your own words. But I have helped by spending time to answer the questions as you go along. So that's knowledge. And knowledge is made up of 3 parts. IT processes. This was slightly new. It says describe the main office and accounting systems relevant to your job. What they want you to do here is describe the software you use at work and the systems you use. Write the names. Tell us exactly what they are and what they do. You can see you're really just only ever filling in evidence 1 for all these for this spreadsheet. So here it says, how is this relevant to your role? Write about it. To be fair, once you write about it once, if you write about it once properly, you don't have to. You can just reference that. So for example, you can say, oh, reference 2.1. Discuss the systems used at work. So if you've done a good job here, you can just write here, oh, reference 2.1, evidence 1, if you see what I mean. Right. And then 2.3, discuss an understanding of data protection within the organization. So what you have here is this, you referencing your GDPR, right? Talking about that. So read exactly what I've written here. Now here, 3, we need a VAT return. I can discuss this with you, hopefully once you've read through this. We need evidence that you've done one. I would prefer you actually have done one. Worst case scenario, I'll get you to do one based on what you've done in your exams. But this is why I need to talk to your manager at some point about maybe you getting some rotation into doing some accounting if you're not doing any just yet. Right, so that's that. And then the rest just kind of goes back to what we were talking about. So what I need you to do, like I said, is to please read through each of these questions. I've tried to give you as much help as I can in all of these, if you like, and you can then, just by reading it through, you can answer by referencing your spreadsheet. You can see the information that I've put in to help you, if you like, with answering those questions in full or giving some good a good account of yourself. But you need to discuss each of these questions. But again, like I said, a lot of them are references to what you've already said, but you just need to kind of talk about them again in some detail. Yes, so and it doesn't matter if it seems to repeat itself, just reference the first one you've done. So if this repeats this, so for example, if you feel, oh, and I've answered 5.2 by answering this, no problem. Answer this in full and just reference it here. So reference 5.1, evidence 1. And yeah, so please look through. There might be one or two that you're not quite clear on, but I'm hoping that we have a conversation soon once you fill this out. So I'll send you this video and really just try and fill this out hopefully by Friday or something. But I'll write you an email and then we'll see what's missing and how we can improve the evidence and improve or help you answer some of the questions. So this is just for the first workbook. So if you see here, what I want you to do is, I'll just take you here for yours, for example. So you see there's Olga level 1, right? And then there's the level 2. Remember, level 2 was what you sent me, was this this skills evidence document. So again, what you have to do is, based on this, you have to fill out another. So let me just open this, because you remember you sent this to me, and this is all very good. All very good. What you want to do is, I'm just waiting for it to load. Right, just waiting for that to load. Yes, you remember you sent this to me about the expense claims? Brilliant. Now, what you'll see I've done is, to guide you, is that I've created, like I said, another workbook, this PDF spreadsheet. You'll see it open up in a second. Here it is. This is the second workbook for you. And exactly the same thing you see me doing, but this time with your expense claim forms. So exactly the same thing, copying everything out and working through. And this is how so you can see now you have the first workbook to do with your payroll job when I first came to see you, and you have the second workbook to do with your expense claim and what you were telling me about. So that's how we're going to build this. So in the end, we should have 3 separate workbooks. But when we finish, when I come to see you, my very final meeting with you, we will take all these 4 workbooks and put into one workbook, if you like, creating a kind of evidence 1, evidence 2, evidence 3. But for now, just put everything on separate PDF workbooks, right? Okay, I hope that helps. Any question, please email me and we can carry on from there. Cool, great stuff, and I'll send all this to you in an email as well. Cheers.